What a beauty, huh?
Beauty for sure. Yeah, smooth as glass. Yep. Easy to maneuver. Happy bike.
Ride around for us, Bill.
All right, we'll take a little spin.
It's like whisper quiet with the stock exhaust, too. So, immediate impressions, Bill?
Excellent motorcycle. Well put together, rides nice, easy to ride, close to the ground. I mean, what more could you want? This bike is fantastic. Beautiful machine.
A few more revs, Bill. Factory HMNBA A1 exhaust by Honda. Quiet at an idle, but she growls up top.
Yeah,
Right,
she's
Bill?
got a little bark up top, but not bad. I mean, nothing offensive at all. Hey, check it out, guys. We're looking at a 1999 Honda Shadow 750, the Ace Edition, the American Classic Edition. This bike shows very little signs of wear, very well kept, original owner, one owner bike, low mileage. I think it's got somewhere around 8,000 miles on it. And that's just scratching the surface on these motorcycles, so beautifully designed and well designed that they're made to last forever. And this is a great motorcycle for a long distance ride or around the block. And it's a good machine for learning, and it's a good machine for an expert.
Yeah, Bill, I was going to say, the middleweight cruiser, you can bomb around in the parking lot and do figure eights, do stunts on it, and then take it out and do 1,000 miles in a day, but be comfortable.
Exactly right. And being that it's got such a low seat height, it is good for a beginner rider to learn on, because riders feel more confident when they can get their feet on the ground when they're new. But expert riders, the like, there is no big challenge to riding this motorcycle. It's really a fantastic machine. And it's a very happy bike to ride, smooth, and likes to cruise along at the speed limit and very handsomely.
Yeah, so definitely taking some style cues from Harley Davidson and Indian, the early Hydroglide Harley. This front end setup is just a classic design, but instead they have their little Honda 750 power plant, which is absolutely bomb-proof.
Bomb-proof, reliable, no leaks.
Silky smooth.
Yes, silky smooth.
Rubber mounted.
Made to last forever.
Turnkey.
Turnkey, yes. Yep. Yeah, so they've improved on a great design that the American Classics had, and they made their own flavor. Really is. It's a bike of its own. It came into its own. It was kind of a copy when they first came around, but really the Shadow Classic is a machine of its own.
Definitely. And this one's got the Corbin saddle, which is just gorgeous brown saddle. I mean, that must be a $500-600 seat, right, Bill?
Yes, absolutely.
How you doing?
Sure. Yeah, we're looking at these factory bags here. You've got plenty of storage for taking a good trip, and they're in excellent condition. You know, I opened one so that we could get a look inside, and there's a surprise in the bottom of the owner's manual. This again from the original owner, and that looks like an original shop towel, possibly. you know, to wipe it down after the little bit of a ride. But this bike is, you can tell by the foot pegs, it's in excellent condition. It hasn't had a lot of use. It's been very well cared for. It was garage kept, and I think the person that we got this bike from, the original owner, was a guy that really just loved this motorcycle. He had it in his garage, and there were shelves in the garage with polish and wax and that kind of stuff. He just loved taking care of this bike. It was his pride and joy.
I like the peg situation too, Billy. The forward pegs are great for all day riding, and you're not cramped if you're 6 foot plus. But you can still reach them if you're, you know, in the 5'6" to 5'8" realm. But you know, the machined factory pegs with the rubber slips. I can't stand platforms.
Right.
When people put platforms on these, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the floorboards. Yeah, and they seem like they're kind of in the way out there. Really.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they hit the ground and stuff.
That's right. Yeah. I think I'd like to be able to get by things, and you know, the foot pegs rather than the boards. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, the whole Shadow line and really all of the Jap cruisers, the brakes superior. They have fantastic brakes. You know, you can fit a lot of tire underneath these fenders here, and they handle great. They got a really low center of gravity, and the steering angle is great, so you can, you know, do the figure eights in the parking lot like we were talking about.
Right.
So just like the overall riding package is really confidence inspiring. Oh yeah, and the transmission. You can shift these like a rice rocket if you wanted to.
That's right.
Without blowing the synchros and having a clunky trans.
Exactly.
Really quite robust, which is a big selling point.
It's the same design basically as all the other inline 4 Japanese motorcycles. The transmission is bulletproof and works perfectly. It almost wants to pull itself into gear.
Yeah, it's definitely great. So we have a pretty extensive service record in-house here, so everything works, and the bike is really turnkey and ready to hit the road. Starting from the top, 4 new NGK spark plugs, full carburetor service. The carb was ultrasonically cleaned and serviced. Removed the fuel tank, flushed and cleaned. New OEM petcock, new fuel line and clamp. Fresh Bellray MC4 engine oil, new oil filter. The battery was charged and the charging system was checked. They repaired the kill switch. I guess the kill switch was sticking. That is all good in factory condition. Steam cleaned and hand washed, polished and waxed the bike to perfection. This is original paint and no touch up. I didn't see a single dent in the tank or the tins. No. This is really, as Billy was saying, this is a bike that was cared for. Buffed and polished the tank and other painted tins. Polished the engine cases, the exhaust, wheels, forks, and all the chrome. My dad and I pulled a 93 Sportster out of the crate that didn't have forks this nice. This metal at the bottom here it is very commonly pitted, and once the pitting starts, there's really no good way to make it go away. And Billy, can you chime in on that?
That's right, I agree, Kenny. This is a clear coat that the factory puts on over the aluminum to protect it, but it also captures all the oxidization inside. And that's why a lot of times you see kind of a milky white look or even a black look underneath the clear coat, and you can't polish it out. So this is a sign that the bike was dry stored and kept in a good environment. So that's a reflection of how the bike is completely overall. There's no rust on any nut or bolt. I don't see anything that would indicate that it's been outside or even in the rain.
No, it's beautiful, guys. No secrets on this one. No. Turnkey. It's running non-ethanol fuel, so don't have to worry about your carb gumming up or anything like that. If you have to run ethanol fuel, just run a stabilizer, or on these, you have the beautiful thing of being able to turn the petcock off and running it until the carb is empty, which is tremendous, especially if you're running ethanol fuel.
If you have to store the bike for any period of time, it's a good idea to run it out of fuel with the petcock on off. This petcock has an off on it. Some petcocks have a prime where you cannot do that. But this being in that type, you can run it out of fuel and store the bike. It's recommended, though, to run non-ethanol fuel and everything. I believe in it 100%. One other thing I wanted to point out about the bike, it's got a quickly detachable windshield and leg shields. so that with just the turn of a screw, they pop off. You don't need to remove any hardware. If you needed to remove that to clean the bike, or if you wanted to ride it without the windscreen, you could do that. But it's a great addition if you're going on a longer ride, or if you're going out at night in the summertime, and you don't want to come back covered with bugs or show up at the party all covered with insects, do you? Right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, one other thing. It's liquid cooled.
Yeah,
So stop and go traffic, no problem.
that's right. It's got electric fan.
Yeah.
So yes.
Really?
Yes. So the fan is off at all times
So it's like
until
you're-
you stop in traffic, and then boom, it comes on to cool the to cool the coolant, to pull the air through the radiator.
So
to
it's
cool
like your
things
gas
off.
bill. You just
Yeah,
troll around in the parking lot and it'll never overheat.
that's right. Like my gas, I see similarities. Just the fact that it has two wheels to the gas.
Electric fan, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's, I was going to say unconventional for motorcycles, but you see it in production on
Yeah.
newer bikes and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, newer bikes mostly all have it. This bike looks air-cooled because it's got the fins on the cylinders. It has that classic look, but it also has a radiator, and that helps just protect the engine and its longevity. It's a bike you can ride and not worry about. That's the really good thing about these. And again, a learner, you know, if you wanted to learn to ride, this is a great candidate for it. As Kenny was saying, go out in the parking lot and bomb it around, do lock-to-lock turns, you know, find out how the brakes work, and you can do that in the privacy of a parking lot where you're not in anyone's way or in harm's way.
Yeah, chain and sprockets look great. The chain was lubed. That's the equipment that the bike came in with. Really, this bike doesn't need anything. Electrically, it's a 10. The one thing, the tires, the front tire, I believe, is from the early 2000s. It's good. It's got excellent tread. There's a little bit of checking starting. Honestly, the camera probably won't even hardly pick it up. So
Yeah, and I didn't see it. When I looked at the tire, I
Really
did
didn't
not
see it.
see it until you pointed it out.
there's a little bit of checking.
It was in the sun over there on the other side of the room, and you could actually see a little tiny bit of beginnings of checking.
The rear tire is a matching Bridgestone with 90% tread left, and that's a little bit newer. There is no checking on the rear. Something to take into consideration. But really, as it sits ready to take onto the road. So,
Yep, 100% agree. Yes, sir.
well, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, call us on the shop line 860-454-7024. We can ship it anywhere in the States inexpensively, so message your zip code for a shipping quote. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the algorithm. Stay updated for new Japanese cruises we have coming up on a week-to-week basis. Lots of
Right
cool
on.
machines coming up for sale.
Yes, sir. Right on.
Stay tuned.
Thanks for watching, guys, and God bless America.